Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in today's Warhammer Kill Team Octarius update, we'll be finding out about the Death Korps of Krieg artillery. Yesterday we got a great update for the Orc Commandos, but today, the 6th of August 2021, it's time to head to the Warhammer Community team, where we're going to meet the veteran guardsmen, hard-boiled heroes who can swap manpower for artillery strikes. So we're going to find out some really cool stuff for the Death Korps of Krieg today, and one of those things is going to be the artillery strikes, where they can bring in some attacks from a distance to give them some fire support. So really interesting. I really like that they're adding this to the game, so let's find out more about it. I love how this is playing into the narrative of the Death Korps of Krieg, and so really looking forward to seeing how this works within the game. And it tells us in the article that with so much ordnance at their disposal, the Astra Militarum can offer their veteran kill teams some support in the form of artillery barrages and airstrikes, and many a crucial mission has been pulled off with the timely intervention of a high explosive warhead striking a critical target. And veteran guardsmen can now choose between two tactical assets to use once each per battle. So let's have a look at those now, and the first one we're going to see is called Artillery Barge, and with this we perform a shoot action using the ranged weapon below, and for the purposes of line of sight we draw visibility and cover lines from a friendly veteran guardsman operative. And note, for the purposes of this weapon's special rules, treat that friendly veteran guardsman operative as performing the shoot action. So with this artillery barrage, we're going to get 6 attacks, so 6 dice to roll for that. The weapon skill or ballistic skill is a 5+, dealing a damage of 2 or 3 on a critical hit. And there's a few special rules here, so I see they've put them at the bottom rather than in the special rules section. I guess there's too many, and so one is barrage, another one is blast, and another is indirect. And that blast comes with the white circle, which represents 2 inches. So I guess wherever this lands, we pick a target point, and wherever that lands, there's a blast radius maybe of 2 inches from that point, and anyone within that is going to get some damage perhaps. So that's the first one, the artillery strike. Really nice. Going to play into the whole narrative of the faction for sure, and really like the idea of this. So that's the first one, but we've also got another one here that we can look at called Marked Airstrike. So with Marked Airstrike, we perform a shoot action using the ranged weapon below. For the purposes of line of sight, draw visibility and cover lines from a friendly veteran guardsman operative. And note, for the purposes of this weapon's special rules, treat that friendly veteran guardsman operative as performing, not performing, the shoot action. I don't know why I'm saying performing. I don't know where it's coming from. So there, this sounds pretty cool as well. And it looks like we've got a little bit more precision with this one. So we get 5 attacks, a little bit less. So rather than 6 dice, we're going to roll 5. For the ballistic strength, we're looking at a 4+ now, so more chance to hit. And it's going to cause a bit more damage with minimum 3 for a hit and 4 for a critical hit. And we've got some special rules. We've got barrage and blast again, but we don't have indirect. So again, playing into that idea that this is more of a targeted direct strike. So rather than being indirect, as we saw on the artillery barge, this is direct. So I'm imagining you'd kind of get a laser on target. One of the veteran guardsmen would kind of target that, laser tag that target, and then the airstrike would be straight on it with a bit of precision. So there we go, some really cool options there. So I'm liking these so far, but if we look down, it tells us that if neither appeal, commanders can also select from guided missile and strafing run options, but you'll have to get your mitts on the Octarius box itself to see what these do. And so yeah, so there's going to be a few more coming in then. So this sounds great. And I'm guessing they're going to do this for all the factions, so we're going to get some nice little additions that we can bring in. So there's another bit of information here though, which sounds really cool, and it tells us that when not even overwhelming firepower can tip the scales on a dug-in enemy, veteran guardsmen can instead access the one resource the Imperium has even more of than munitions, and that's manpower. So instead of selecting the options we just went through, they can instead deploy 4 more trooper veterans than normal. So wow, bringing in another 4 trooper veterans onto the battlefield, you're going to have a lot of models playing. So this is really great. But I imagine looking at the stats from today's update, yesterday's Orc update, and the ranged and close combat rules, I think there's going to be a lot of operatives taken out really quickly here. The stats for damage and critical hits are pretty high, and when you consider these guys, a lot of them only got 7 wounds. You know, those orcs are hitting with some serious power, and even though you can only make 1 attack action per activation, I think that's really going to come through and deal some damage. So I think there's going to be a lot of carnage in here and potential for some real serious heroic moments with operatives taking other operatives out really fast with some big rolls. So yeah, looking forward to seeing just how brutal this game is, but it's certainly looking like it's going to be pretty serious. And as we scroll down here, we're going to see that Trooper Veteran card that we saw really early on when the game was released. But it tells us at the bottom of this that this option of bringing in those 4 extra troopers really bumps your kill team up to a respectable 14 bodies in any given kill zone. So that's a lot. That's a lot in a skirmish game. But best of all, Trooper Veterans have a group activation characteristic of 2, meaning that you can activate 2 at the same time when it's your turn to make a move. Okay, so that's going to speed things up. So even if you've got 14 bodies on the table, potentially, 7 turns. So you're only activating really 7 times, but in each one you can move 2 of the bodies. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. So, but it's still a lot of models for a skirmish game. But I think if you're moving them in pairs, but again, they're going to be independently. So really, you are making 14 activations. Yeah, I want to find out more about this before I make any decisions on that. But yeah, certainly an interesting addition bringing in those extra troopers. Right, let's keep going and scroll down. And so now we're going to look at command stuff. And so with this, we've got some new options, which is called fixed bayonets. And the idea around all this is that disciplined officers barking orders over the noise of combat is the backbone of the Astra Militarum, and sergeant veterans are only too happy to raise their voices in kill team games too. And a sergeant may choose between 4 separate orders to give a nearby operative during the strategy phase, and this includes the classic fixed bayonets. Right, so these orders aren't going to cost any action points during the actual combat phase, but it's going to be in the strategy phase, so you get to choose between 4, and they're going to let us know about one of them here. So let's have a look at this fixed bayonets then, and it says that each time a friendly operative that was issued this order fights in combat, in the roll attack dice step of that combat, you can re-roll any or all of your attack dice results of 1. So okay, so you can only re-roll your 1s here, or does that mean you can re-roll any dice or all of your attack dice results of 1? Not sure. Does that just mean... Yeah, it must mean that. So you can re-roll, just pick 1 dice and roll any of them, or just all of the ones. Okay, so yeah, not sure if how that's worded. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Does this mean we can only re-roll 1s, or we can re-roll 1 particular dice result, or all the ones? Okay, yeah, not sure about that one. But there we go. So there's one order, but it does say that as powerful as these orders are, they can only be given to 1 guardsman per turning point in normal circumstances. And that's where the comms veteran comes in, because using their relay orders ability to broadcast the sergeant's orders across the entire kill zone is going to be an option. So you're going to be able to do that too, and then reach more of your operatives. So looks like with this, you could team up your comms veteran with your sergeant to get some extra ability there across the whole kill zone. So there we are. There's our fixed bayonet order. But as we scroll down, we're going to see the data card now for the comms veteran. So this is great. So let's have a close look at this. Right, so here we go. So we've got a movement of 3. We've got an action point limit of 2. We've got this group activation here as 1. So yeah, if you've got 14 bodies and one of them's a comms veteran, in one activation you can only activate 1 miniature if one of those is this comms veteran. So it's not going to apply to all of them with this. So this is interesting. So what we went through earlier, looking at that group activation there, that would only apply to the trooper veterans or any veteran that has got a GA of 2. Okay, so let's back to the comms veteran though. So we've got defense of 3, save of 5+, and 7 wounds. So not a huge amount of wounds here. We've got 2 weapon options, pretty much the same as the veteran we just saw, the lasgun and the bayonet, but we got some abilities, and this is where they're going to stand out. So the first ability is called Relay Orders, and once in each turning point, when this operative is issued a guardsman order, it can relay it, and if an order is relayed, we subtract 1 from this operative's APL, and all friendly veteran guardsman operatives in the kill zone are issued that order. Okay, so this is pretty cool. So we can get that order to all of the guardsman operatives in the kill zone. So that's quite a big ability, actually. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so this guy is definitely going to be a good one to team up with your sergeant there for sure. We've also got unique actions to look at, and this one is called Signal, which costs 1 AP. And for this, we select 1 friendly veteran guardsman operative within 1 red pentagon, which is 6 inches of them, and visible to this operative. Add 1 to its APL. And this operative cannot perform this action if it is within engagement range of an enemy operative. Alright, so you want to have this guy pull back a little bit, and what you're really doing is giving your one of your APs to another operative. I guess as simple as that, but they've got to be within 6 inches. So you want to keep this guy out of the fight, in a bit of cover with your sergeant, I guess, and that, again, playing into the narrative, a bit of realism there. Your comms guy is going to stay in cover generally, and he can relay the orders from the sergeant, who's generally a little bit further back. But when you play the tactics with these guys, I don't know whether we want to push our sergeant forward or keep him back. But I think if you're teaming him up with your comms veteran, you want to give him a bit of cover and keep them out of the fight a little bit, and just push those other veteran troopers forward and get them stuck in. Right, so cool. So that's some nice ability and a unique action there. But we've also got some keywords, which are Imperium, Astra Militarum, Regiment, Comms Veteran, and we can see at the bottom we've got 2 of the specialisms highlighted as well. So a nice look at a Comms Veteran data card here. So really happy with this, but we're not done yet because there's a little bit more to look at as we scroll to the end of the article. So let's take a look at that now. And so here we go. So we've got this thing called second in command, and the idea of the battlefield being a dangerous place, and that leader wants to have a backup plan in case they get killed. And so they bring in this option of having a second in command. And so it tells us that a confidant veteran is vital in keeping the kill team's cohesion in dire circumstances. And so using this second in command, if a friendly sergeant veteran operative is incapacitated and removed from the kill zone, you can nominate this operative for command. And if you do, until the end of the battle, it gains the leader keyword and the guardsman orders ability. So that's interesting. So you've almost got an option of having really 2 leaders here and keeping those leader abilities. So if one gets taken out, you pass it on to another. So again, I would guess you tactically keep those separate, so they don't get taken out in one go by any like bombardment or barrage from similar abilities that we saw earlier with these guys, like the airstrikes and things like that from other factions. So yeah, so I guess keep them separate, and then you've got 2 leader options going through. Maybe you can be a bit more aggressive with your main leader, knowing you've got another one who can back him up later on. So really interesting, like that second in command. That sounds pretty cool. But that brings us to the end of the article now, and it does say here we're getting very close to the pre-order. I mean, for me, it's got to be this Sunday. We've got to find out that it's going to be time to pre-order on the 14th of August, and then, you know, whether it's a week or 2 weeks until that's actually delivered, we'll have to wait and see. But again, if you saw the Glass Half Dead video, then you'll know that the leak came out that it could be the 14th for pre-order and then a 2-week wait for the actual release and delivery. So if we get the and you know, it does say it's available in August, so it makes complete sense that if it's a 2-week wait, then we're going to find out that we can pre-order it from the 14th of August. So not long to wait till we can get our hands on this box set and start going through all the rules. We've got a bit of time to make some preparations, maybe build a kill team in advance and get ready for that. I'm going to hang on because I want to wait and see the rules and also what equipment each of the different factions can include before I start assembling and painting anything. But as soon as we get the game, I'm going to be getting stuck in right away and be doing loads of videos on building kill teams and going through the game, assembling, painting, going through all the rules, and then playing some games out too. So can't wait for all that. It's going to be really fun. So another nice little update today, but I'd love to know what you think about this. And also, who are you going to be playing out of this box set? Do you prefer to play the Death Korps of Krieg, or do you want to go with the Orc Commandos? Or maybe you're going to just bring in a completely different faction. So let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about that. And also check out my other videos where I've done updates for all the recent updates, those orcs yesterday, and also for all the different updates we got for range combat and activation rules and actions and that kind of thing. So that's all on the channel already if you want to go and check that out. So I'm expecting to find out on Sunday on the Warhammer Community site when they do the Sunday preview that we will be able to pre-order this as of Saturday the 14th of August. So as soon as we find out, I'll do an update video so it's confirmed and you'll know for sure. So keep checking in here. And for now though, thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. If you like this kind of content and would like to support the channel, then please check out my Patreon page. And thanks to everyone who's joined so far. It's really awesome. We hang out on Discord, talk about the hobby, share ideas and help each other out. And you'll get some perks there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I'll put a link in the description and it'd be great to see you there.